Can you please, bro? Okay.
We'll do some after the podcast.
I'm going to keep it real with you. Not even trying to interject for a long time here. I have never had anxiety in my life until probably about 2 or 3 months ago.
Why? I'm here to give people value. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, my boy.
To start.
My back is coming.
Yeah, you're looking good. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Real Talk. And today I have a very special friend, very special guest of mine. First things first, if you guys are coming from his side, if you guys know Jackson personally, if you guys are listening on Apple, Spotify, and if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to support, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Take care of that now before you guys and before we get into it. But I have a man I've been wanting to get on. His name is Jackson. Artist name goes by Jdillon. He's chilling at 500,000 monthly listeners. I've known Jackson for 6 months now, almost 7 months. He's rolling with the music right now. But on today's episode, we're going to get the knowledge out of him. It's real talk, real rap, no cap.
No cap.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into the mind of how you mentally approach things with music and how it affects you mentally, and it can take a toll on you and your approach towards things. And the main thing is just give people value. Everybody that's listening, all Jackson's people, if you guys are tuning in and stuff, he appreciates you, so it means a ton. We're going to be chopping it up. Subscribe, post noties, leave a rating out of 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcast. But that's enough of me. So take away the floor. So give a background of where you grew up, where you're from, and then how you've gotten into music and where you're, sitting at right now.
Of course, yeah. So I grew up in the western part of Orlando, so near like Windermere. I'm from a little like town called Metro West. I grew up in loving music. My family all are musically talented. My dad shreds the guitar. My mom's a singer. My sister is she has perfect pitch. She's the most talented easily out of all of us. But I've been around music for ever since I was out the womb. You feel me? It's always been in my blood. But the only problem is I definitely have been probably the least talented in my family. And I've been trying to figure out how to because I had the social part to me. So I would always put myself out there.
Yeah, you have the balls.
Yeah, I have the balls. You know what I'm saying? And so basically with music, it was I played basketball throughout high school, middle school, all that. And I was really heavily surrounded around rap music. But the thing is for me is I never really enjoyed making rap music, but I enjoyed making melodic rap over those trap beats and stuff. So that's when I really got into producing because I thought, I don't have a rap voice. I need to make beats so that my voice isn't heard, but my talent is displayed. So I started making beats in, like I said, 2017 on that Metro kind of stuff. I downloaded FL Studio, toyed around with it, made some really trash stuff.
What year you first ever got started with it?
It was my freshman year, so I want to say 2017. The hurricane came through, and I remember I watched a few YouTube videos on making music, and so I just started messing around, and I made my first 3 beats, and then I remember Irma came through, and we had to unplug the computers and shut everything down and go seek shelter. And I remember I brought my Bluetooth speaker with me that was charged up all the way during this hurricane and just listened to these 3 beats over and over again, thinking I was some god producer.
The ones that you made.
The first 3 beats I ever made in my life. Literally the first 3 projects I ever had with music.
Really?
And I sat there during this hurricane literally listening to them on this Bluetooth speaker I had, and I was like, oh, I'm loving this. I can display my creativity in all these ways. I can, obviously the beats, compared to what I make now, they're nothing, bro. But it's that's the point. You start at this spot and then you see the growth over time.
By you making beats is kind of like being behind the camera.
Yeah.
I used to be behind the camera for a while. So when did you make that switch to be
About a year and a half into producing. So I'd say probably middle to end of my sophomore year.
Okay.
That's when I was playing basketball at an all-time high. And all this kind of stuff. I had a bunch of sports friends and people in high school I was really cool with. And I would come home and I would make these songs. And I released my first EP, which was 5 songs. And I was so pumped. I was ready to get this stuff out there. I had people from my school bumping it, sending me pictures of them playing in the car. like on their like Apple Watch, they'd have like playing like Jdillon song or whatever. And dude, it was just like the best moment ever because these people were like actually liking our stuff. Right. And then I remember I used to have some of my boys who don't really make music for real. They just kind of were like messing around. They would come over to my house and we would just make songs. Like we would just make like mess around songs.
Right.
And me and my friend Krubel, shout out to Krubel if he's watching this, homie since day one, my boy. He came in and we made a song together called Brethren, which was literally just us like rapping about like knowing each other for a long time and just like kind of just, you know,
brotherhood.
Just rapping. Yeah, just brotherhood. It wasn't a great song, but you know, it's about the fun in it, you know? And that song ended up, I knew this girl that was making TikTok playlists that were blowing up from my high school also. Shout out to Izzy if she's watching this also. She placed our song on one of her playlists while it was blowing up. And the song did like, I think 50K in like maybe 4 or 5 months. And that was the most success I had felt it like
during that time
with streams.
Yeah.
And me and him were like going ballistic. Our school was like, oh my gosh, like this is the song. Like
that's tight.
And it was like one of those feelings where it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually getting noticed.
Olympia, right?
Yeah, Olympia High School.
Talk about with the heat of COVID and cramming out TikToks.
I'm like, the last thing I'm going to do is lose hope and lose like inspiration because COVID hit. This trend came out called the feature trend where you would feature on a TikTok song or some kind of like popular song. There's a bunch of guys that just started making these videos off the rip. My friend Honest blew up with a Lucid Dreams remix. Aaron blew up with a Doja Cat remix. I blew up with a Travis Scott remix. I'm getting a few 100,000 views. I made a Blueberry Faygo video. That was my first ever remix, 200,000 views. I'm like, what the heck? Keep in mind, these remixes weren't really even that good. Like, I really don't even like any of the features I ever put out. We're putting out daily videos. We're getting lots of views. I'm talking like I would probably get daily like 50K to 100. And I knew they would all blow up too because they were like after the first few, it was clockwork from there. Right. My TikTok's gaining like a few thousand followers a day. Sometimes if a video blows up really well, I'll get like 20,000 followers overnight. It was like some like stuff I've never thought would happen.
Seeing those numbers, how do you fathom that?
A rush of emotions when I got these numbers, but like not the same emotion I would have if I knew 20,000 people.
You know what a sparkler is?
Yeah.
It's bright. It's bright once you light it, and then that's the emotion. So when did you make the commitment? Because everybody makes that commitment to be like, all right, here we go. I'm going to sit and cram this shit out.
Anna Banana. And here's why. Okay, so Kid Leroy dropped Addison Rae. I know Anna Banana is a corny song, so before y'all get in the comments and be like, flaming my ass, yes, it's corny. It was a publicity stunt. I wanted clout. Kid Leroy just made a song called Addison Rae. She's digging it. The internet's digging it. I could do the same shit. I just got to shoot for a girl who has a little bit less following, but like a lot though. So that's where Anna comes in. She had, I think at the time, maybe $1 million or $2 million. Addison Rae had like 40 mil. So I was like, I'm not shooting for a 40 mil girl right now. I'm shooting for like $1 million or $2 million. So I make a little snippet of a song and I post maybe 10 seconds of it on TikTok, right? Flops, it gets like 500 views, right? I checked the analytics, bro. This is the funniest shit ever. I checked the analytics. It's like 100-something likes, which is like horrible, and like 2 comments. I looked down. One of the comments was like someone saying like, oh, nice song. The other one was Anna. Because I tagged her, and I guess she saw her mentions or something. Keep in mind, this video had like 500 views on TikTok. Like nothing. Literally nothing. No. And I see her comment, and she's like, oh my gosh, like no way. So then I comment back, and I'm like, no, yeah, this is a real song. I make another video called Day 2, trying to get her to repost it. Now I'm like, I got the attention. Now I need the repost. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, nothing. Day 4, duet. She comments back and goes, I'm posting this song tonight on my account.
You're posting the song?
She's posting
she
it.
said that she
comments
the song
on it. These videos are getting like hundreds of views, like nothing crazy. So I'm sitting there like, all right, bet, let's see. Anna like duets my video, like the notification. And I'm sitting there like, I go to it and it's like first few minutes, it's already got like 2,000 likes, 3,000 likes. I'm like, oh my gosh. Some of her friends are like adding me on TikTok and like messaging me and stuff. And the song ain't even out yet. They're like, when do you want to drop? I'm like, nearest possible date. I'm like, put that shit out as fast as you can. Comes out in like 2 or 3 days on all platforms. Song is doing a few thousand. It gets to like 40K and then 50K. And dude, I'm sitting here like, oh my God, this is the one, bro. Everything's relative too. I'm thinking 50K is crazy and like now walk around's getting like 100K a day. Everything's relative, bro. Yep. But I'm sitting there like, dude, this is wild. If you have shower thoughts, if you have these like crazy like sparks of ideas, even if they sound like, are you sure you want to do that? Just do it, man. It will not hurt you to post more content. Who knows? I might have never been in the position I am right now without that. Like, everything is a journey. It all kind of adds up and leads up to the end goal. I added up to where I'm at now. I dropped Forgive and Forget, which was technically my second album I was proud of. I'd say there's only 2 albums out that I have that I'm like actually proud of.
What's the other one?
Do I Ever Cross Your Mind?
Okay.
So the other ones are just, I keep them there just so you can see the come up.
Where's your state at now? Mentally, where are you at?
I'll tell you what, it's a roller coaster. And you could probably say the same shit about videos.
I can attest.
Man, any type of production, art that you're trying to market and you're trying to just, you want eyes on it. You want ears. You want people to know, like, what's going on with you. What did Tim Hofacker post? What song did Jdillon just come out with?
Right.
Walk around, yeah, it's blowing up. And yeah, I'm still having my success with it now. But I have to kind of like come back to that reality of like, I'm dropping new music and it's getting like 1%, 2% of what I'm getting with Walk Around. I make music because I love to make music. And I make music that I truly think displays what I feel. You don't need to pose for anyone, I feel like some of these songs that people blow up off of, like Walk Around even, I'll keep it real.
Would you say that's not you?
I put that verse together on let me try rapping. It's a cool little sample. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a throwaway anyways. That was my mindset.
Right.
And then it was far from a throwaway, clearly, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But now my music is strictly just like, I put everything into each song, bro. And it's like Walk Around was one of those songs where it was a fun vibe and there's nothing wrong with it. It was chill, but that's not me.
Yeah.
I personally don't even want to blow. I just want to see him blow up.
That speaks volumes.
He's such a great guy, and he does so much for me too. That's the thing. It's such it's a push-pull.
Some people get so jealous and greedy. Like, dang, that boy's popping. Yeah. He don't deserve it. God treats people like you well, because if they see like, if people mindset of like, oh, my boy is popping, then I'm popping. Then it will come full circle back to you.
The song was originally featuring me. He went into DistroKid and like switched it all up so it would be a collab, just so I would get monthly listeners
and money.
Like, dude, but he split the royalties also. But like, no average person is gonna be like, let me split royalties with you as I'm making all this money on a song. I wish nothing but the best for him, bro, because it's like he's got the sound, he's got the work ethic,
confidence.
The confidence is like, it's amazing.
Cursing in songs is a big step.
Yeah, I only have a few songs where I
feel like that's why a lot of parents like you too.
Probably. The reason why, I have 2 reasons. One, the obvious one, which is I want to show my parents and like my grandparents and have them be like, oh, like this is a nice piece, and not have me say like fuck bitches every line. The other one, that's a lot of people don't, it takes more skill to rhyme and make lyrics without cursing. It's very easy to drop an F-bomb or say shit or something.
But the culture for like, an African-American guy to just say the N-word. Right. Just to fill it in. If you don't mind me asking, what's your religion?
I'm Christian. I'm loose on it. Like, I'm not heavy on religious activity. You know what I mean?
I curse to prove a point.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why.
Making a point, though, that's valid, because it's like it shows like the emphasis behind it.
It also goes with like confidence too. The punch behind the word. There's a thing where like if you curse, it's a sin. I'm not going to get too religious, but like if you curse, it's a sin. But there's a thing in the Bible where it's like it's only a sin if you use it in a derogatory way to bring somebody else down. Right. If you bring somebody else down and you use it in that sense, then that's when the word is bad. If you just say it casually, then I don't think I have a problem with it. And even like I bet with your parents or like even my parents, it's like take out the curse words.
Definitely. Always been that way.
And like if they know, in my sense, like I don't have that intent. But like, for somebody else from afar, because there's always a fact that I'll live and die by this. It's like you never know who's watching. Yeah, man. So some people won't listen and some people won't watch because you curse or not.
No, that's like actually true. I've had plenty of parents, like you said, that admire my music on like my mom's like Facebook or something, and they're like, wow, he doesn't curse, like go him and stuff. Right. It just makes everything like more enjoyable for everyone.
And it takes your game even for you to get message across and still not have to. That shows to like how sharp your pen is.
One thing about me is when I do curse though, like and just in life in general, like I'm never there to bring someone down. And the reason why I live that way is because every single person starts at zero. And I know it's cliche and corny, but it's like people start at the bottom. If you're hating,
That shows more about you.
yeah, it's a character flaw. And it's like, how are you going to sit in your room tweeting your fingers around, twiddling your fingers around?
It's not even in person. In person, obviously, because if the shoe's on the other foot, if you tell somebody that's fat, people could just cover up very easily. But when they're sitting in that room, it really hits home.
Even in person, face-to-face interactions, like telling someone they're fat just means the person saying that is insecure about something.
They're trying to level them up by bringing somebody else down.
Exactly, bro. I despise those type of people, man, because, everyone has their journey. I started at zero. I know you started at zero.
If you can slide your feet in somebody else's shoes.
But the one thing I hate, man, is I hate haters, bro. And you know what I mean?
No.
I just hate haters.
Go
I hate
on
them.
that. What do you mean?
If you hate
Towards you?
No,
Or period?
in period.
Okay.
If your sole purpose on the internet or in person is to hate on people that are working, like I could have dropped everything to go hate on people, but I bring people up and work on myself. And I know you do the same thing. Why would you waste your life away by trying to take someone else down and you're not even moving? That's the crazy part, is they're just staying there.
The one thing you're going back to, like, giving somebody with hope, not the numbers behind their back and stuff. I don't think numbers compares to me. I think it's how it's always been consistency.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to say that.
One person I always look up to, not even for videos, music, Russ. Every other week.
Drop song.
If I see that, if I'm a new viewer, or even it goes to YouTube, or even if it's somebody, you see them at the gym back to back days, that speaks volumes.
Buddy, you're doing it too though. With the YouTube channel stuff, bro, like you're consistent as hell. I've never met a more consistent person. But the thing is consistency isn't just throwing crap around. Like you're putting these high quality videos together consistently. That's the catch, bro. Consistency doesn't mean toss some shit and put it together quickly and put it out. It means grind your ass off
And be something, and put out something that you would stand behind.
Yeah. And to do that consistently is a skill, dude. I could never. One thing that's good for me about music is like I can get away with waiting like a month or two or even 3.
I always think about that so much. I would love to just post whenever I want to. And I kind of do that, but I give myself a regimen.
Yeah.
Because if I'm a new viewer and I click on a video from a couple months ago and I go to their channel, let's see what this kid's about. Oh, wow, 4 hours ago, 32 minutes ago he posted.
Yeah.
He's on it.
Yeah, he's on. No, that's real.
That's
Timestamps
how
everything.
I hook people in.
Timestamps is literally everything.
Yeah. So even for I know music's a little different because if you put out a full production album, that's you let people sit on it for a couple months.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I've always shown, and that's how once I see consistency, I'm like, okay, then I will truthfully support you.
Whenever I drop an album, I usually strategically place my album drops when I know I'm not going to be making music for a while. Because when I'm in college, I don't have my setup with me. I have to drive home for my setup. Forgive and Forget was dropped when I knew finals were starting. I dropped the album so people could listen to that and enjoy those 15 songs while I studied my ass off in school and took care of that business, knowing that I'll get back to music later.
Right on.
I've got a 7-song, possibly 8, depending on if I want to add one more, EP, little mini album, coming out probably at the beginning of when we start college in the fall, probably August or September.
Right here on the Real Talk podcast, we're getting that exclusive.
No,
Keep
but
going. My fault.
I'm planning on
Sorry,
dropping
Jdillon,
that.
super fan.
Yeah, you feel me. I'm planning on dropping that right when we start college, and the reason for that isn't because that's a good time to drop. It's because I know I'm not going to see my equipment for the next few months.
Right.
Or maybe I'll see it once in a while, but that's not enough to put together these high production songs that I want. I need more than one sitting,
So let's talk a little bit about school, and then we'll go back to the real rap. Sophomore now at UCF. You're finishing your freshman year, and ever since I met you, I've always enforced you dude, take music serious. But you've always been school. One, why is that? And two, how has that been treating you?
My parents have always guided me in the right direction based off of working hard at school, getting good grades, having good test scores.
School come easy to you?
Yeah, I mean,
I wish.
Until I started taking upper level classes that were AP, advanced placement, all that. Middle school was a breeze. I got straight A's in middle school. Never had a B in middle school. And then high school comes around, and past semester in college, I got my first C ever.
Ever?
Yeah, man, ever in my life. And I'll tell you what, man.
I imagine, bro.
No, yeah, I mean, that's how it is for me, though.
So with this engineering degree, what do you want to do with it?
I personally want to work with software. I'm also not opposed to being out in the field and working with like actual projects with like hands-on stuff, but I want to be like, I want to blueprint design. I want to be behind these computer screens, digitally designing, measuring, making these plans for people to go out and actually like build and take part in. I want to be on that first leg of the project, sitting behind a computer screen or a few monitors and putting my creative and my precise touch on whatever I'm working on. I've always been a computer person. I mean, we've been talking about music for this whole time. Music is all on the computer as well. I've always been good at math too, so I've always like physics and chem and all that. Like physics I've gotten a little bit better at recently, but you know.
So what about aerospace? What intrigued you about
we're talking like
picking that?
You're dealing with a lot of projects of building these like these missiles and rockets and any type of mechanics, obviously for like mechanical, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like pinpointed on what I want to do. I know engineering is my broad passion.
You've always been good about that. As you push and you set like a standard for yourself, but you also leave the door open because you never,
Exactly. I mean, I fully agree with the fact that does kind of pull you back a little bit because it's like, it's nice to set goals, but you don't want to have these expectations that if they don't work out, your whole world crumbles, you know? You want everything to stay intact. And for me, it's like everything is going to happen the way it needs to happen if you just focus.
Yeah.
You don't need to put a timestamp on when you're going to drive that white Tesla. You don't. Just know you're going to drive it.
You ever do meditation or manifest or like?
I've taken like very little part in it, but I think manifesting is a good thing. I just don't think getting your hopes up is a good thing. Manifesting is nice because you're like, I'm going to do that. That's confidence. Confidence is key. But if you're holding yourself to where you get your hopes up so high and that shit doesn't happen, what are you going to do from there?
A lot of people don't have that next play.
What do you get? Yeah, they don't, dude. They sit there and they're like, they literally fold.
They say like, all right, 2 years. And then years behind it, yeah, I could see how people could, you know.
But the minute you put an expectation and a date on when it should happen, you're selling yourself short.
You're disrespecting yourself by like bringing that disappointment onto you.
Like, dude, it'll happen whenever time makes it happen, and time and effort, obviously. Whenever both those things make it happen, it'll happen. You don't have to put a date on it.
They fall in line. Yeah, you can manifest and all this stuff, but for anybody that, you know, is religious, when you make plans, God laughs. You're in God's hand, in God's timing.
The best thing you can do is just steer yourself in the right path.
But even both of our fields, let's talk about the effort side.
Yeah.
Both of our fields is very self-disciplinary things. There's a thing that I go by where it's you're going to have a conversation with, when you die, you're going to have a conversation with the person that you would have been.
Damn.
It's going to be me and you, and I'm going to be the Jackson that you should have been in your life.
Holy shit.
So what kind of standard? So that's the standard that I live in. Is like, I'll sleep when I die, and when I sit down and have that conversation, I better be damn close to, I better be him, because
I'm so glad you said that, bro, because like I just felt like a tingle of like inspiration, like literally. Really? Like you saying that makes me put like whatever gear I had it in that was already good into like a higher gear.
I brought you into this world, and this is what you could have been, this is what you should have been, but this is
where
where
you were at. That's deep, bro.
That's real talk.
Real talk.
Yeah, baby. Talking about the effort side, talk to me. I want to get vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
What is a time that you have been like the most down in your life?
It was actually pretty recently. Really? Surprisingly. One thing about me that I've been blessed with my entire life, I've been blessed with being very upbeat and letting a lot of things roll off my shoulders.
That's a skill.
Yeah, dude. I was blessed, though. Like, it was not one of those things I built up. It was one of those things I was almost born with. A lot of stuff would get in my way, and I'd be like, nah, it's cool. Push past. We good. But I realized I was giving a lot of myself to certain people that didn't deserve all of me. And it's not just one person. It's a lot of people.
Whew.
And here's the thing about that is, like, the minute you do that, you don't have any self-worth that you're aware of. It's like you're giving all of you to someone else. It's like, where is that little spot that you can keep for yourself?
Exactly. Where's that priority for you?
Yeah, man. There's no priority. Like it's to the point where I was almost, in a non-cocky way, like selfless enough to give everything out of me to someone else that was just going to toy around with it.
That speaks about your heart.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same. That's the one
I
thing
know you're the same way, man. That's why I hang out with you, bro.
Yeah, no, but that's I guess is how we were raised.
Yeah, man.
As well, it's all
for
about
sure.
the family life and the family environment too, because I truthfully believe it's like you should love and respect whenever you get around to like respect people, love people. It should be fully hearted. There shouldn't be half. People that have like heavy hearts are the biggest overthinkers.
The reality of life has definitely set in for me a little bit, and as an overthinker, like I just said, having like reality checks is kind of like stunning and almost nerve-wracking.
And needed.
It's like,
So essential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And give too much of me to people that don't deserve all of that. And what happens is I sit there and I wait patiently for these people to come around.
The validation back.
I wait for them to give me that push-pull, but it's only a push. And I'm like, I need the 50-50 action. It's more like an 80-20 or like a 90-10.
The overthinking happens is when I need that time back.
Oh, dude.
I need that time back because they didn't deserve it.
Yeah, it's like
They didn't deserve my breath in my presence.
how you can see people give you that 50-50 for like a amount of time that almost fools you into thinking they're going to always give you that 50-50. And then you spend more time with them, months come across, and then they're giving you nothing out of nowhere. And you're sitting there like, what did I do wrong? That's another thing too. I'll sit there in my room and I'll be like, did I do something wrong? Did I mess something up? Yeah. But I didn't mess anything up. They need to get their stuff together, and they can't handle me giving all of me to them.
It's when people's priorities change, their loyalty changes.
Preach.
Wow.
Bro.
Ooh, God, we're good.
Real talk.
When people's priorities change, when people's priority and like, because you as a person and everybody as a person, like we provide something to somebody. Friendships, relationships.
Bro.
We provide something.
Talk, man.
So when the providing doesn't equate to the life anymore, kick rocks. The loyalty's different. Yeah. And sometimes with people, like you have to accept that. But when you put like so much, when you provide so much to somebody, it's just, and you have to sit with that and you're like, wow, they're getting off the hook with all these gems and these golden nuggets. And I'm probably never going to see them again.
Felt, bro.
And it pains you sometimes. And
all the time.
And to sit and say, I pray for you is so difficult.
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
Probably like the craziest shit. One of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. Because he told me this at a moment where I was doing the exact opposite. He said, yeah, they can eat in the same room that I'm eating in. They just got to be at a different table. You got to be okay with seeing this person that was right next to you, sitting right next to you at your table. You got to be okay with letting them go eat at their table.
You got to be able to get up when the food is not served.
You can't be around here with me. You're not in my section, but you can be in that section. That's okay.
Not saying I don't love you and I don't appreciate you.
Exactly. Thank you for your time. Thank you for whatever bond that we built. It's time for it to come to an end because you're not giving me what I need. And clearly, I guess you don't appreciate what I'm giving you.
You're not totally disregarding them by any means, but it's, I think about, like, I categorize my friends. Some conversations I can't have with you,
right, but
I can have with somebody else.
Exactly.
And some conversations that you have with me that you can't have with me that, it's just different. And so, that was a good quote. Shout out to Alex. That's because you're providing everybody that's listening to this point. So you were saying you were the opposite.
I was still trying to get her to come back to my table after I was done dirty.
Because that goes into doing something, pulling somebody in something that they don't want to do. If you work and you keep at it, the right people will come to you because that's when like the best relationships period start.
Like I had trouble with that people really don't change exactly who they are. And you want these people to change to be some other person. There have been people I've tried to drag to my table that really like deep down are not really trying to eat at my table. But since I want them to be the person I thought they were, I'm like, come on, you should be with me. Like this is destined, but it's really not. I'm just trying to make I'm trying to fantasize this reality that this girl or this guy is actually like giving what I give to them back. You made real friends when you can stick your hand out to pull them.
But if they grab your wrist or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you stick the hand out and they're like, all right, bet, let me grab your hand. We're moving together. That's dangerous, bro.
It's natural. And that's how everything should be.
I stuck my hand out. I'm like, hey, I make music. You know what this guy did? I make music videos. Let's do this shit.
I grab something else, but
You feel me?
see, we keep it a stack. Everybody has a different perspective of you. Yeah. Your mom has a different perception of you, your sister, your dad, I do. All of your friends, everybody in your life, they have a different perspective. People that listen to your music. Sometimes when you do the same to people as well, you wish that they could see your perception of them. And be like, if only you were just like this.
You try to force people to change, and you can't do that. People will be who they are, and you will want to force them to be someone else. And that goes vice versa. Maybe this girl or guy wants me to be someone else. Hell no, I'm going to be me.
If you don't want to accept them for their flaws, and I think the beauty in every single person is their flaws and all the bad about them. That's what makes them so good. I love everything that is bad about you. Imperfections.
It shows you that you're human, bro. You don't want to see some perfect dude. People don't like perfect, like people that are like have everything going for them. They don't like to see that.
They love to bring that down.
Like doing well with their life, obviously, but you want to see that they do fall. You don't want to see someone take this clear-cut path to success. That's like seeing someone with daddy's money make money, but not work a day in their life. Coasting, hate those types of people.
Because they bring no value. The art of like being broke brings so much value because that tightens you up and how you got to maneuver. Because anybody that works a job and you make your own money, like, when you look at that hoodie, that's 40 hours of work into it.
Dude, oh my gosh. I was just about to talk about this. Like,
you see things different. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, connections.
And when you see people that don't nearly have the value that like you could bring if you had that platform.
Worst feeling ever.
Yeah. I'm a big person of like seeing right through people. It's scary because a lot of these people, I've talked about it before, like a lot of these people that have power, and the power is from money and like notoriety, is speaking and like they're doing all these things, but they're not speaking to like people their age. They're speaking to the youth.
Exactly.
And that like a lot of this stuff is cancerous stuff. A lot of the things that they say is cancer, but these kids don't know it.
They buy it because they don't know any better.
Exactly.
They have the platform, but someone like you who's going to give them good advice doesn't yet. And it's one of those things where it's like, why does this dude who's giving them that cancerous information have tens of thousands of subscribers when someone like you that brings far more value is sitting below that? Like, that's not okay. So I feel that pain as well. That's definitely a pet peeve of mine, is people that should not have a platform that are, lots of people look up to.
And a lot of people, even good looking people. I'm not even speaking on this out of jealousy.
Thirst trap motherfuckers on TikTok, bro. Like, all them. You look good, you get likes, you get views. Right. You make yourself look good, bro. Why do you think OnlyFans is like a source of income for certain girls, bro? And it's not me ranking on OnlyFans. It's just me saying, like, they know the algorithm. They know a lot of guys are going to enjoy that. So they're like, fuck it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make bank.
The richest quality in a person, and rich is like a distinct, strong word, is your mindset.
Yeah.
Your mindset, without a doubt.
I agree.
Mental health, we know this. Mental health is far more important than if you have a six-pack.
Fuck.
Far more.
That's real.
And I've lived through it. I've had times where like I've did not want to be in my body.
Me too, man. I do these activities because I mentally want to feel happy, and I mentally want to just kind of like
feel good. I know people that they've told me like, dude, I only work out for physique. I only work out to get that V-line. I only work out to...
It's never that deep.
Never. If you don't work out to feel good, then you're skipping so many beats.
I get the gym because of like heartbreak thingy, but at the same time, I don't get why people flex it so much. You know what I mean? Like how they get broken up with and they're like, dude, that's forbidden pre-workout. Like, I'm ready to go in the gym. You should have been ready dating her and still be ready not dating her. If a girl breaks up with me, more of a fire under my ass. But at the same time, like, that drive is still top notch, like it's always been. Sometimes that narrative is just kind of corny to me.
Like always having that fire under you, that comes from like you respecting yourself.
Bro, I promise you, you can do anything in this world, if you just have a touch of discipline, bro. Lots of people don't have discipline because people can't do things for a long time consistently. Let's go to the gym. All right, bet. You gonna be here for next month?
Are you gonna be here on the first day of the new year? The last month of the new year?
Exactly.
That's what I meant. Not the
But no, I feel you though. It's like, are you gonna make that resolution on January 1st and be like, I'm gonna hit the gym a lot this year?
Or are you gonna make it today? You could set a new resolution that day. I have new resolutions come up like
Every day, bro.
every week.
I think resolutions should happen whenever they pop in your brain.
Yeah, and you need to make that agreement with yourself.
But here's the catch though. 90% or probably even more of people are like, yeah, I'm going to make that agreement, and they never shake the hand. They're like, oh, I'm going to do that. Let me make a deal with myself. And they never go through with the deal. That's where everyone watching this and both me and you can learn and go, okay, we're going to be different. We're actually going to shake that hand and make sure this deal happens.
This is free game. Ways to go about that is you have to, whatever you're trying to get at is you have to divvy it up and be like, okay, these are the actions that have to take place that not anybody else that has to go through, that I have to go through. Whatever that means, okay, I got to get to it. I have to live it. I have to be that lifestyle or else it's not going to happen.
There are a lot of distractions. And even if you want to make that agreement with yourself, you're going to get distracted. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. And these obstacles include friends falling off, sexual temptation, going out and partying, maybe lacking on something because you want to go hang out with someone.
I was literally talking about this last podcast.
Dude, you know, any type of temptation. And then you get hooked, bro. It's temporary fun that your future is going to be like, what the fuck were you doing, bro? Right. Your future self is looking at you like, are you sure you want to go through with this present tense moment? Are you sure you want to presently, in this moment, do what you're about to do? And you sit there and you just do it. And your future's looking at you like what are you doing,
Not
bro?
your future's looking at you. Your kids' kids are looking at you.
Yeah.
If anything, you're not working for yourself. You're working for the loved ones. You're not working because they put you in the spot of where you're at. The decisions and the mindset that you're at now will show up 3 months from now. The decisions and mindset that you are showing up today was where you're at 6 months ago. But there's a difference between saying I got time versus you got to put in effort and you got to make commitments and you got to make mature decisions within yourself.
You can punch in at a time clock and you can clock in to do something and clock out 3 or 4 hours later and have done nothing. Time doesn't mean you've done something. If you clock in but you don't do shit for 3 or 4 hours and you clock out, you'd be like, yeah, I worked for 3 or 4 hours. Did you? Or did you sit on your phone for 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
It's the value work.
Now, if this dude comes in and clocks in for 30 minutes and does amazing work for 30 minutes and clocks out, he just did more than you did in that 4 hour sitting. Punching the time clock is not going to do anything. The actions is what does it. We cannot ever settle for punching that time clock and just watching the time go by and be content with being like, yeah, I had a workout for 2 hours today. But an hour of it, I was
bebopping.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I had a 2 hour workout, best believe all 2 hours of that workout, with the exception of maybe a minute or two for like water or something, was me working out. Or school. If I had a study session that was 2 or 3 hours long, I'm studying for 2 or 3 hours. I'm not studying for 30 minutes and going on TikTok for an hour.
There's a reason why I brought this combo up because I knew you were going to say that. Because when you're asking me and you're like, well, how many hours did you put into it? I didn't give you the hours that, all in all, I give you the value hours.
Correct.
Of how long it took me to edit that video.
People love to punch that time clock and be like, yeah, I did it. No, you didn't. Time's just going as we speak. That doesn't mean you did anything.
And the bad thing is, like, if people don't have the right mindset, if they say, like, oh, I worked out for 3 hours, like, damn, you worked out. Nobody can work out diligently for 3 hours. But anyways, you worked out for an hour and a half or you studied for 2 hours. Like, people set, like, a standard like, wow, Jackson is like that. He works out 2 hours. He's diligent. In reality, he's not. He can only study for 15 minutes and then he starts to get tired.
Exactly, bro.
Wow, man.
Real talk.
This is a very smooth sailing episode.
I love it.
The new rebranding, but it's still the same show. I always give people the floor. Anything that you want to say or anything that you want to ask me. Any questions that you have.
How did you get so consistent with your YouTube videos? Because the thing is, and I know it's a very bland question, but it really does have meaning. And it's kind of like, how does your mind continuously run to be so consistent? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people can go through these moments in days where they're like, nah, it's not happening today. Nah, like I can't do that today. But it's like with you, man, it's like if you want a video out in 2 days, motherfucker, you gonna film that shit tomorrow, have it all edited by that night, and it's out in 2 days. How do you do that, bro? And I know a lot of people are itching for that. So that's why I asked the question.
Snap.
And you got to keep it real talk because it's real talk, baby. You feel me?
It's not even about the videos. It's a lifestyle and making that agreement and shaking that, not hand, that wrist. Yeah. It's not about like going through the actions. It all starts with the habits. Habits. Because I started out when I would make small, minimal efforts, minimal habits. I want to put 2 quality videos out a week. Or I want to work out 3 times a week, 4 times a week. All these, I want this lifestyle. But going back to like making that list about, okay, I want this lifestyle, but these are the habits that I got to make. It's all about the habits because you'll be surprised. If you set in stone, like if you're making a new habit, if you set in stone about like good motion, you'll act upon it and you'll do it like it's ritual. The real fun is when you've been doing that habit for a while and you've been, you set that expectation with yourself is when you get tired of that. You get tired of that standard and you say, okay, let me set a new expectation for myself. It's some of the best stuff in the world.
Right.
But credit, it is so hard.
I was about to say.
To build the habit and to be sticking with it.
I was consistent with whenever I do, but I would have a lot of down moments where truthfully I would like almost give up on myself sometimes. And I've never in my life seen you give up on yourself. And that's why I asked you that question, because I can definitely learn from you. And I feel like I can definitely, like, in a way, I know I've been like pretty consistent with like most of the stuff that I do, but there have been those moments where I truly do kind of like take a tumble, you know? And I have never seen you getting into that mode. And I've like, you know, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just basically saying like, dude, like how do you keep this shit rolling even when you're not feeling it?
I'm not even saying this to discredit you. Whenever I hear, it's not even you, I hear other people. I don't have the energy and like, yo, I'm gonna take a nap and this and that. Right. When I hear that, oh my God, he doesn't know the advantage I have on him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's coming.
Right.
Because
you're still shooting in the gym. I went home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's always been with me and that's always stuck with me because especially with, you know, being consistent is not giving yourself petty and 2, not giving yourself excuses. Right. Zero excuse. Whenever people are coming up or whenever every time I put out a video, whenever you're putting out a song, nobody wants to hear the excuse. Nobody wants to hear it. That's nothing. Nobody cares about that. They just want to see the product. And it sucks because you put out the product, they watch the 13-minute video, but they have no clue what is put into that video and put into that product or you getting to that job position. Right. They don't know, and they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. And all people want to see is the final product, and then they go, and it sucks. They go, they take it for what it is, they watch it, cool, forget about it. And that's just the art in it. The art is not the subscribers, the art is this.
Yeah.
The art is the habits. The art is and when you're trying to be consistent and when you're trying to get at whatever lifestyle, it's so cliche, but it's the journey. There's so much. I have so much more fun in that.
Bro, I'm taking all this in right now.
And it's not even the journey. It's the really trying to test yourself and test like how good you can get when you can slow down your mind. Because a lot of overthought, like a lot of overthinking, a lot of thoughts that like come back in your head, you've thought of them before. So why are you going to let the same thoughts from Tuesday to Wednesday, and so now we're Thursday, why are you going to let them control you again?
That's a bad habit.
And again, and again, and again. It's, oh my God.
I got a problem with that, man.
I do too, even to this day. Everybody will.
If I had that skill set of having something like overthink about something once and then it never crossing my mind again, dude, that's an unstoppable person right there.
And nobody's like that.
Yeah, of course.
But it's the ones that can slow that down or like eliminate the amount of times, because you have 94,000 thoughts in one day.
Yeah.
So you have to take time. I meditate. Yeah. I have to. Whether it's breath work, there's all different types of forms of meditation. And the main one is anxiety meditation.
Can you please, bro, Okay.
We'll do some after the podcast.
I'm going to keep it real with you. Not even trying to interject for a long time here. I have never had anxiety in my life until probably about 2 or 3 months ago.
Why?
Because of what we talked about earlier with me giving too much of me to people and all that kind of stuff. And I've been like sick to my stomach anxious. Never, ever felt anywhere close to having anxiety in the 18 years before that I've lived.
So what is, because there's, anxiety hits people different.
Yeah, it hits me like I feel sick, like sick to my stomach.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll have headaches.
Yep.
And it's because I literally am losing the battle with myself internally. And I know I'm losing and I'm just getting my ass kicked. And I'm just sitting there. Yeah. That's how I feel when it comes to that. So I'm going to need whatever helps you, man. Like, I'm ready to learn because I always was like, yeah, anxiety will never hit me. Yeah, depression's fake. All that. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm a happy guy. Like, that's not real. And then I got hit with my first lick of anxiety. And I was like, nah, this is a real battle that people lose a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and lose. Like, I'm getting my ass handed to me right now, but best believe I'm going to end up on top.
Yeah. There's two things this is not even cameras. Two things. One is accepting that other people go through it and other people cope with it. Everybody puts on that mask. That's one. So people come out of it. Second thing is the moment you embrace it, you've already won. What steps do I have to make? So with the meditation, what it helps is it helps you become in tune with your breathing and it helps you come in tune with your whole body. Yeah. And everything shoots right up to here. The main thing is the breathing.
Now I know, man.
There's different. So you could do like guided anxiety meditation, or you can have like, if we're like sitting down and like the way you do meditation is you don't want to be in a spot where you can fall asleep. I also do this when I sleep is you have to seep down into the ground. Literally being like grounded and being like down to earth is like, it's no pun intended with meditation. So you really sit and relax and you feel the heaviness of your body like go into the ground. And then that's when it starts. And then, cause like, it's hard for all of us, like, especially like with the lives that we have, it's hard if you can't find time to yourself. And like, when people say, I'm gonna take time for myself, all they do is they don't date and they don't see people, but they still keep the same habits.
Exact. Oh man.
Taking time to yourself it's recommended to like meditate, like medically recommended. But nobody preaches it.
Going full circle to the beginning of our podcast, no one has a discipline.
Taking there's 5-minute meditations, 2-minute, 10-minute meditations. I started with YouTube, having somebody jazz music, subtly, cloud, breathing methods, and then there's manifestation meditation, there's anxiety meditation, there's depression meditation, there's all these type of things, and it's different words that register with the mind that say, okay, whenever I feel anxiety or whenever I feel depressed and whenever I want something, because wanting something is lack thereof, like you don't have it. Manifestation meditation, and it helps you say, I desire to have that. And it helps you like desire. It's there for the taking, right? But it's just, you just don't have it. So that's why you feel that guilt. So with the meditating, it helps you whenever you get those moments, it helps your mind trigger and say, okay, if you do a couple breaths or you remember that time where you meditated and that made you feel good, it will give that like dopamine hit to you and say, calm down, Jackson.
Right.
Let go.
No, becomes second nature.
The storm comes and goes. If you're really good at meditating, you can go for 10 hours. A lot of people can't do that. People get scared of sitting with themselves. So that's why they resort to other things like drugs and alcohol, because it's that quick hit
it's like, all coming together.
The real drug is accepting yourself and accepting what's going on. What's going on, man? Why is this? Then you sit and relax.
Yeah, we're going to have a talk after this podcast, bro, because I'm in need of all of this. I'm taking, dude, like, everything's just sinking. It's flowing right now. I'm taking as much as I can right now. Food for thought, bro.
It's not even you. It's all these other people.
I know, man.
If you guys are listening to this point, we appreciate you.
Agreed. It's been a great conversation, bro.
So we're gonna hit some anxiety meditation after this, but it's all to going back to like the consistency. It's the habits. It's not even just habits of like making videos, because with the videos, it's the lifestyle. It's the lifestyle, and it's the agreement to, I want this lifestyle. This is what I have to do, and not some robot is gonna live through it. I have to go through it. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be draining. It's gonna be exhausting. But no, you have so much self-respect, and you know how much work you put in already prior in your life, and you say, okay, I respect myself and appreciate myself so much that I want this because I deserve this life. So, that's a long answer to that question, but
I love it,
that
bro.
was an answer that needed to be heard.
Oh, I agree. I needed to hear it too. Bro.
So,
it's not just them.
If you want to, I just took the floor for about 20 minutes.
I love it. No, this has been amazing.
Of course, man.
I don't even got much to say at this point, bro.
No, man, you got to end it, and then I'll say my things.
I mean,
but
obviously
anything that you want to, you got all these people that tune in, all your people, all the Jackson people, anything that you want to say.
At the end of the day, you got to do whatever you're passionate about. Life is about passion. It's not about what you're forced to do. You need to do what you love. You need to be you. Never change up for anyone. And I know it sounds very corny because it's, inspirational or whatever. But, man, it's the realest shit I've ever gone by in my life. And that is, you got to show passion. If you love something, bro, don't let someone else tell you, nah, don't do that. Bro, it's what you love. No person on this planet can tell me what I love and what I don't love. Only I can tell myself that. So listen, end of the day, chase your passion, and everything ebbs and flows and comes as time goes on. As long as you just work hard, stay at it, be consistent like Tim. I'm learning still. Everyone's learning, bro. And life's about learning. No one will ever get to that spot where there's no more learning. And that's the beauty of it. It's just a game that never ends, and you got to just, you roll with the punches, you keep going. That's what I got, man.
That's
how I live.
the fun in life. You got to trust yourself, and the game of life, that's what we live. That's what we're brought into this world.
Memories, bro.
And the memories.
Bad and good memories.
Yep.
All of it, bro.
Yep. Because God knows, Jackson might not wake up tomorrow. Or I might not wake up tomorrow.
Real talk.
And that's just the scariness in it. So while you're still breathing today, do something and take some action, because that will, I promise you, when you're not here, it will hit home with people for the better. So, this has been Real Talk. Real talk,
this
man.
has been, what's a synonym for real, bro? We need
real?
this has been like exquisite talk, bro. Like, this has been like some like elegant shit, bro. Like, this has been crazy.
Elite.
This has been elite talk.
Elite. This has been Real Talk with Tim Hofacker, and I was joined by Jackson Dillon, or Jdillon. So,
You feel me?
If you guys go follow Jackson, all down below in the description. All of his stuff is going to be there. Go listen to his music. Like he said, he leaked that he's dropping a summer album.
Hey,
so
man.
if you guys follow his stuff, you'll be able to stay connected. And if you guys want to come to him and talk about stuff that, we talked on this episode today, he's more welcome. He answers all of his DMs. So he's a very open man to all that stuff. So go follow Jackson and go listen to his music. And if you guys are new, be sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Out of 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating. If there's something that you took value, go ahead and communicate it down below or on that platform if you're listening, and on Spotify too. I cannot stress this enough. When you guys listen through, and even when you click on the podcast, it means so much, because the best tidbits and the best part of this podcast just happened within the last 20 minutes.
I agree.
People listen to this. I want to thank for 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, let's get it, boy.
But I use this as this is even, I'm going to end this last thing, but even talking and communicating, and having, this is how people journal. Yeah. This is like a mouth journal.
Oh, I agree.
This is meditation. Getting this shit out and getting this out is, you find
a big dude. Some kind of weight that I didn't even know was on my shoulders is completely off right now.
That's why I do it, and I want to do it with other people. Real talk. Tim Hofacker with Jdillon, Jackson. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, turn on the post noties, like this video up. And then if you're listening on platforms, thank you guys so much. And we will see you guys next Sunday at noon.
Yes, sir.
This is Real Talk, baby.
Peace.
Peace out.